Welcome back to this episode where we will be talking about string functions in PHP. These are very useful whenever you want to start working on large projects, and later on, you will be seeing that we will be using these quite a lot. The first function that I want to talk about is getting back the length of a string. And this can be very useful whenever you want to set either a max length to a string or a minimum length for, let's say, a password. Or another good example might be whenever you want to let a user enter some text in a complaint form and you want to set a maximum amount of characters that they can input, which you probably have seen before. And also, for the people that follow the HTML and CSS course, you might say that you can insert a max length in your input field in HTML. This is actually true, but hackers can easily get into your HTML code with the inspect element. But it will be more difficult for them to get inside your PHP code. And therefore, I always recommend you to use string length instead of max length of a HTML tag. So let's start by creating a string called string and set it equal to today is a sunny day. Now let's go one line below and let's echo out the keyword strlen from string length. The string length function takes one parameter, which is the string that you want to check, and in our case, it's str. Let's save it, and I forgot to add an echo, excuse me. Let's save it again, refresh the browser, and you can see that the output is 20. And you also need to keep in mind that spacers are also interpreted as a character. So let's add an extra space after day. Let's save it. Refresh the browser, and the output is 21 now. And even if you want to add a break, let's test it out. Break will be seen as characters as well, so you cannot add a break after a string length. Let's remove it. Now let's continue on. Let me add a comment string length. The next function that I want to discuss is the string word count instead of letters. A string word count enables display of the number of words in any specific string. This function is also pretty useful in validation of input fields. Because let's say that you want to have one word inside of an input field. You can say that if string word count is less than 1, return an error message. We're not going to do that right now. We will be doing that later on when we will validate a password, for instance, or our login system. But let's create a new string and name it first name and set it equal to my first name is Dari. What we want to do next on the next line, which could be on every other line, it really doesn't matter, is to write down the function name str underscore word underscore count, and the parameter is the variable that we want to put in. And let's echo it out. Let's add a break, since we cannot add a break in our string length. Refresh the browser, and the output is 5. And let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's continue on with how to find text within a string. That can be done with string position. And string position enables searching particular text within a string. It works simply by matching the specific text in a string with what you're looking for, and if it's found, it will return a specific position. And I want to test this out with an email, since an email address has an @ sign in it, so you can check if this is inside of an input field. So let's create a variable called email and set it equal to my email. On the line below, let's create an if statement. And the condition is string pos, which takes 2 params. The first one is the variable, which is email in our case. And the second param is the text that we want to search for. And in our case, we want to search for the @ sign. And if this is found, we want to echo out, this is a valid email. And if it's not found, we want to echo out, this is an email input field. Let's add a break. Let's refresh the browser. And you can see that the output is this is a valid email address. And the next function I want to talk about is the UCWords function. The UCWords function is a built-in function in PHP, and it is used to convert the first character of every word in a string to uppercase. Let me add that. Every first letter of a word is uppercase. So let's echo out UCWords, and let's add a string. Let's say, what is your name? And let's add a break as well. Let's save it. Refresh the browser, and let's add another break at the top of our echo. And you can see that the W is uppercase, the I is a uppercase, the Y is a uppercase, and the N is a uppercase. So every first letter of a word turned into an uppercase. You could also convert every letter to uppercase. So let's copy our echo and our comment. And let's change our comment to the whole string to uppercase. And of course, this isn't done with the UCWords, it's done with string to upper. And it takes one param, and we already added it. So let's refresh the browser, and you can see that every letter is turned into uppercase. And the last function that I want to show you is, let's do the same thing. Let's copy paste it. And this will change the string to lowercase. And instead of string to upper, it's string to lower. Let's save it. And you can see that every letter is turned into lowercase. Thank you for listening to this episode about string functions, and I will be seeing you in the next one.